What is going on, guys? It is Toxic here, and today I am bringing you some Neverwinter. So we're gonna hop in, go ahead and make a new character. Gonna skip the cutscene because I've seen it a lot of times. And here we have our race selection, as you can see right here. Now there's a bunch of different races. Some of the races you can't use. See, they have the Z right there. It's premium, and you have to buy it with real money. Now the ones we can use are the Tiefling, the Halfling, the Dwarf, the Drow, the Half-Orc, the Human, the Wood Elf, the Sun Elf, and the Half-Elf. And all the rest, as you can see, the Moon Elf, for example, you have to buy with real money. And if you'll take note, in the bottom part of your screen, you'll see that every race has different abilities. You have Sun Elf race, which increases your resistance to crowd control effects by 10%. And every single race has this ability score. And it pretty much grants you +2 of the possibility of 3 different things. And you'll see that later on down the road. And then here for the Sun Elf, we have Inner Calm. And you get +2% action point gain, and that's really helpful. And so, for example, here on the Tiefling, we have Internal Wrath. Whenever you're hit, you have a 10% chance to lower the power of the attacker by 5%. And so, it's a little bit like the poison effect that you've seen in other games. And here, you deal an additional 5% bonus damage to targets below half health. And so, as you can go ahead and see, I'm not going to go through all of them, but every single race has different abilities. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the male Sun Elf, because I really like that it has the 10% plus resistance to crowd control. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. And here we have our character class. We have a control wizard who harnesses powerful arcane energies to restrict, crush, and debilitate their foes. Wielding a magical orb, they're capable of unleashing torrents of damage and use ice and force to manipulate the movements of unwitting creatures. And you can see that magic missile, which is ranged, and then chill strike, which is ranged. So pretty much all their attacks are ranged. And here we have the devoted cleric. That's like the healer, equivalent to a healer. And it's a devout healer committed to preventing injury, restoring health, and faith in the divine, capable of enforcing discipline on the battlefields with a combination of territory control and righteous holy damage. Precise zone placement and strategic calculation are necessary traits for the devoted cleric. So he's not going to be the best flat-out attacker. So if playing with friends, I'd say one of you guys be the devoted cleric, and then one be, say, the rogue, for example, that has higher attack. And now these trickster rogues are masters of stealth and misdirection, and they maneuver across the battlefield and strike from the shadows with paired daggers. The trickster rogue dodges in and out of melee, inflicting massive damage on foes with the flurry of deadly blows. Here we have the hunter ranger. Its abilities reflect the divide between civilization and wilderness. Although they learn to master weapons, most commonly bows and those used in two-weapon fighting, they augment this martial training with their knowledge of primal magic. So as you can guess, this is also ranged. And here we have the Scourge Warlock. That's the most recent class that they've added, about a month or so ago. And you're tougher than other warlocks, and you've got the power to help you attack and defend in melee, as well as excellent ranged attacks. So as you could have heard, it's melee and ranged, and these are very, very strong. I've used them before, and they're really good. Now here we have the Great Weapon Fighter. As you can tell, this is probably the strongest, second strongest class, and it's obviously melee. And it's an unstoppable force of damage and steel, skilled in using the weight of a great sword to dispatch those that stand in the way. The epitome of strength, the Great Weapon Fighter is also resilient enough to defend allies in need. So, yeah, he's pretty much your tank. And here we have the Guardian Fighter. And he didn't do as much damage is a great weapon fighter, but he also has a shield, so he has higher defense. So you pick your poison. You either have better attack or better defense. You decide. It is courageous and stalwart, superior at defensive maneuvers, and no stranger to hand-to-hand combat. Heavy plate armor and a shield make the Guardian fighter a durable mainstay on the battlefield, while a trusty longsword and focused aggression cut through foes that stand in the way. And as you can probably tell, this guy is obviously melee, and they're just saying that there's gonna have more coming soon. So I think that for this playthrough, I'm going to go with the Scourge Warlock, just because it's balanced between attack and melee, and I haven't seen many videos showing it off, so I'm going to show it off for you guys in case you're curious. Go ahead and hit continue, and you can choose either +2 intelligence and +2 dexterity, or +2 intelligence and +2 charisma. Charisma measures forces personality, persuasiveness, and leadership, and then dexterity measures hand-eye coordination, agility, reflexes, and balance. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the charisma, because it says the primary attribute for a Scourge Warlock. And we have intelligence, it's how well a character learns and reasons. And then constitution is health, stamina, and vital force. And then we have all these over here. Strength is physical power, and wisdom is common sense, perception, self-discipline, empathy. Okay, now we have the appearance. So I am going to go ahead and cut the video here, and I'll make my character, and I'll come back with you guys when I'm finished. This is a guy that I have come up with. He's part of an elf clan that is all about that elk life, and so that's why he has a tattoo on his face. And now we're going to go with his origin. And there's a bunch of stuff here based on your city, and you have types, for lack of better words, of characters that you can choose from. And in the end, after you choose all these, it'll tell you where you're from and what life you're about. So we're just gonna go with what everyone sounds cool, and let's go for the North Dark. And we can be an escaped slave, a North Dark explorer, or an Underdark exile. I like the Underdark exile. Sounds coolest. Now here's your deity, and later on in the game, you get to call upon your deity, and it can give you gems and experience and a bunch of other stuff. And so, since you're being an elf, and we said that our character is all about that elk life, we're gonna go with the Forest Father, and hope it works out. Okay, so this is what we're gonna end up looking about like, and we have violated the laws of the people in North Dark, and have been banished to the surface world. And so for our character name, let's just see if they have Toxic Gummy Bear. And they do. And there is our character creation, and I will be back with you guys when we hop into the game. We have hopped back into the game, and here we are in the tutorial section. So you use W, A, S, and D to move.
Press F when close to talk to him.
Press F to interact and talk with people.
When I saw the Draculich attack the ship, I was afraid there would be no survivors. What brings you to Neverwinter in such troubled times? Adventure, I can guarantee. Riches is up to you. As you may have noticed, Neverwinter is under attack. The necromancer Valindra is assaulting the city with her undead legions. Plenty of opportunities for an aspiring adventurer to make a fortune. Search the wreckage along the shore for your gear. It's dangerous to go unarmed right now. When you finish, head up to the camp at the top of the hill. They've got a nice warm fire up there. You'll feel better once you've dried out.
Thanks, I will.
Quest path leads to your next objective. Press Z to toggle it on and off. Waypoints appear on the map to mark your quest's objectives. Press F to interact with characters and objects. Press I to open your inventory. Double-click an item to equip it.
and just a tip, you can press C to open up your character too. So if you want to drag and drop, you can, or you can right click and press equip like that. And so as you can
Press
see,
the Alt key to toggle mouse cursor and mouse look modes.
we just got a tunic and a sword, or our weapon, whatever you want to call it.
Current quest objectives.
And so as you can see, we have to go to the camp, and you follow this magical sparkly trail, and it leads you to wherever you want to go. It's probably got Pixie Dust by Tinkerbell. But anyways, that's beside the point. As you can see, we're heading to the camp now.
Campfires or rest zones where out-of-combat players may heal.
So as you just heard, you step into this blue circle, and you get healed up. Now, your health is right here in this corner, in this bottom part of the screen. Here you have all your moves you're going to end up unlocking once you level it up. And here are your potions. And there you can have an artifact. Now let's get back to the game. Now here you can see at the right, it says talk to Sergeant Linkletter.
Good to meet you. It's good to see someone survive the attack on the ship. When you feel ready, please speak to me again. I'm afraid I need your help.
So we're going to go ahead and complete the quest.
Although we stopped Valindra's main force, the battle is far from over. The battlefield is crawling with mindless undead who lost their masters in the fighting. To make matters worse, the enemy is raising our dead to use against us. Acolyte Naaman is performing a ritual of Kelimvor to lay the newly dead to rest. That is sure to draw an attack here. I must stay and make sure Naaman finishes her ritual. Could you search the battlefield for any wounded we missed and send them here? After you finish with the wounded, go to Del McCourt's camp and tell him our situation.
Okay, so now we have to go into the battlefield and we have to help the soldiers. So once again, we're going to follow Tinkerbell, her fairy dust,
Left click to launch an eldritch blast at a
and
single
we're going to
enemy.
go into the battlefield. And as you just saw, we can left click. That's your basic attack in these games. And just so you guys know, in case you're wondering, they don't attack. You have to hit them first. They don't automatically aggro onto you. So you're just going to stand right here and they don't even hurt. But we're going to go ahead and attack them. And basically what we have to do is we have to go give first aid to 3 soldiers on the field. And just going to kill these zombie marauders for experience. And as you can see in our map, in the top right corner, the blue area is a designated area where you'll find the soldiers. And if you're outside of that blue area, then that means that you're not going to find whatever you're looking for in your objective. And now sometimes it'll just be a blue dot and it'll lead you straight to the portal, if you will, to the place you need to go. And so we're going to go ahead and heal our 3rd soldier. And we're going to kill this zombie marauder. And so you can see we have the range factor coming in right now, the Scourge Warlock. And now we're going to head to Del McCourt's and Battle Camp. And as you can see, we're going to follow Magical Pixie Dust again. And we have arrived. So you see how I'm missing a little chunk of health? I'm going to go here and I'm going to heal up. And as you can see, we just leveled up, so I'm going to go ahead and press U, and I'm going to click to view the new power we got. And now here, you'll see we have Dark Spiral Aura, and that's your right click ability. And you fire a blast of dark energy at your target, expending your collected dark spirals to increase the damage and action point gain. Okay, now action points don't come in right now. They come in at a later point. So we're going to go ahead and talk to Del McCourt.
We were lucky to drive Valindra's forces back. Thank you for aiding the wounded. They wouldn't have survived much longer with all the undead roving about. I'll try to get medical supplies and reinforcements to Linkletter as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we've got problems of our own here. We were lucky to drive Valindra's forces back. I'm afraid I have a gruesome task for you. We've driven Valindra's main army off, but our Red Wizard allies are still harassing us with summoned undead. Private Hothodon is trying to drive them off with his archers, but they're short on ammo. Search the battlefield and scavenge some arrows from the dead, and then take them to Hothodon.
Okay, so now we're gonna go back onto the battlefield and we're gonna search for arrows. And it's nothing to do with the game, but have you ever wondered how why every time that there's elves or dwarves in a game, they always have a Scottish accent? Like that's just racist to Scottish people. Like that's saying that all Scottish people are short. I mean, I'm sure they're not. And I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, if anything, they should be like Chinese. But that's beside the point. As you can see, I've been using my left click, but now after I get these last arrows, I'm going to go ahead and use my right click just to show it off. So as you can see, we kind of send like 3 purple demon balls of death flying at our enemy, and it kills them. So now we're going to go store the arrows in a barrel for whatever reason you want arrows in a barrel for. Probably like a collection he's doing, I don't know. Anyways, we've arrived at camp, so we're going to go ahead and press F to store arrows, and so we completed the quest. So now we're going to talk to Private Hothodon.
We must drive the wizard. Thank you for the help. The red wizards haven't been driven away, but this will at least force them to keep their heads down. We must drive the wizards back. More undead are attacking Neverwinter. They're boiling out of Castle Never and storming the Sleeping Dragon Bridge. If the bridge falls, they will enter the heart of the city. Protector's Enclave. I must stay and deal with the red wizards. Please, go to the bridge and aid the defenders. Destroy the undead soldiers near the gate to our north so it may be opened safely. Then talk to Private Wilfred. He will get you inside the city and show you the way to the bridge. Be careful, these undead are more aggressive than others you fought. Tempest grant you strength.
And something I forgot to mention, in your quest box thing, where it shows you what they're saying, these are what you'll get in turn for doing the quest. So as you can see, we leveled up to level 3, so I'm going to go view our new power. And this is bound to the Q key. And use your target suffering to fuel internal flames around them. The damage is increased based on the percentage of the target's missing hit points. And killing your target with this power builds 25% more action points and spawns a soul puppet. And you'll see what a soul puppet is in just a minute. So, gonna go back, gonna follow the dust, and we're gonna go kill a bunch of these undead soldiers.
Killing flames. Killing an enemy with this spell spawns a soul puppet.
So now, I just used our Q button. And here we have our soul puppet, who looks like right out of Ghostbusters. And so, as you'll see, she'll attack, it will attack stuff for us. It's not really gender specific. And so, if we just do that, then you'll see that she'll kill him. See, it just killed him. And so we have 2 more soldiers that we need to kill. And I'm going to use the Q ability one more time. And I honestly like the left click the most just because it's the quickest. And they both are going to kill anything. They all 3 are going to kill anything within this beginner level. So just what I like right now.
You're looking a good deal fiercer than when you washed up on the beach. Told you drying out by the fire would do you good. My mother always says, warm clothes make for a warm heart. You've thinned out the skeletons enough that we should be able to slip through the gate safely. Linkletter gave me some healing potions for you. You may need them on the bridge.
So now, we're gonna somehow, by our own might, open these doors.
On a visible location to travel to it.
And we're gonna go to Sleeping Dragon Bridge. See, this is where Tinkerbell comes in, flying us to the bridge. You know, it makes sense, really. It's just tied with Peter Pan, I swear to you guys. Now, if it'll go ahead and load. Come on. You can do it. I have faith in you. Come on. I guess like, it's just time to go ahead and talk. I'm looking for animators and editors that can kind of show me what I'm doing. This is kind of shot in the dark and something that I enjoy and just wanted to share with you guys. So if you're an editor slash animator, I have an email in my channel in the about section. You can email me to get a hold of me. And I like to get an intro and get all that stuff done. Now here we are.
They're in trouble! We must go to their aid!
No.
Shadow slip and disperse into a cloud of shadow, making you temporarily more resistant to damage. Do not shadow slip when your stamina is low.
As you could probably guess, you don't want to get inside the red area. It'll do damage. And for some reason I took damage even though I wasn't really in the red area. Anyways, so if you press shift, just a minute, I'm going to kill these guys. If you press shift, you'll just kind of float on the shadows like I just did here. And it's just a quick way to get around. It's the equivalent to sprinting or flying if you want any other game. But that's what your stamina is used for. And so as you can see, just a minute, let me kill these guys and I'll show you the stamina bar. Now as you can see, right here we have our potions. That's hotkey 4. And here, this little triangle thing, it's our stamina bar. And so once that runs out, see it just ran out a little bit because I just used the evil shadow travel of death. And so it replenishes over time, so don't worry, it's not like permanently gone if you use it. And so now as you can see, we're gonna have to fight our way to the gatehouse. It's like the headquarters of the evil thing lurking, trying to kill us. It sent these freaking zombies. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and summon a soul puppet. And hopefully it'll help us a little bit. Sad thing is, it'll probably be more effective than our companion who's trying to kill everything for us. Okay. Can see we're almost there. This is the Deathlock, right? And you know, this is special. If they have like special names, it means it's not a boss, but it's a mini boss, if you will. And so, you heal it. If you kill it, you get more XP than usual. And now we level it up. So I'm going to show you guys what we got.
Target with shadows, holding them in place while dark horrors rise around them.
So as you can see, that's the ability we just got. It's bound to the 1 key. And
activate your daily power when your action points are full.
Here we have our ability, and it's called Shadow Walk. And you can see right here that we have it. And so we go 10% faster while we shadow slipping, and that's where we just kind of float around the shadows like we're not really there. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and click it to get out of the way. And so right here is your action points, and this has to be full for you to use this ability or this ability whenever you unlock it. And you just gain action points by killing stuff. And so here I'm actually gonna show you real quick. You see, whenever it says Inner Calm, you get plus 2% action point gain. That means that we can gain action points a lot quicker by killing stuff, quicker than other classes will be able to, because we chose the Sun Elf. That's a race-specific ability. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up these 2 minor potions of healing. We have 5 now, and so we're just gonna go ahead and finish these skeleton zombie demon things off. And oh gosh. And so let's see, one more. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Well, guy's an idiot. Like, who the crap would do that? You don't just charge in on your enemies. You have to have a battle plan. Strategy. At least have a decent weapon. Don't just use freaking sword. That's like suicide. So here, this is the boss. So we're gonna go ahead and use our number 1 ability. And that's what our number 1 ability does. It locks them in the shadows. And as you can see, our soul puppet right there is gonna help us do some damage. That was bad. Gosh dang it. Okay. We're almost finished with this boss.
Press F to pick up loot.
Alright, we killed him. And so we're gonna pick up his loot, right? He dropped an unidentified item in a brown lesser scroll of identification. So here, if you right click, press identify other items, and then you'll have a little scroll over your mouse. You left click on the unidentified item, and then you can equip it. And identify it, and then you can equip it. And I'm probably just got ahead of the game, but you know what? We don't care, because we're just that baller.
Sorry, should have been more cautious. But when I thought of all my friends who died because of her, find Sergeant Knox and tell him what happened. Ask him to check on my mother from time to time. You have to stop her. Lord Neverember is no saint, but he's better than the alternative. If Neverember fails here, Valindra will rule Neverwinter. Find Sergeant Knox. He's one of Neverember's guards, one of the good ones. You must stop Valindra.
And that, kids, is why you don't do drugs. Live like this guy. We have a cutscene. I'm going to skip it. And it's going to take a while to load. But we're finished now with this episode. After this, we go to Protector's Enclave. And we finished the story starter stuff. So, this is the first episode. Don't forget to leave a like if you like the video, and subscribe if you find me entertaining or never entertaining. Peace.